So at this point, you are adding some small details to it, then you are done. Hello guys, welcome to Revit Concepts, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use basic shapes to make a still life sketch. Let's get started. Good. So we are going to start by drawing the object in the center. That is the vertical one. That is the flask. So when you have a look at the object there, we calculate based on our sheet here. We start by drawing our baseline. Our baseline will come. Once our baseline is here, then we proceed on to also calculate the top where our flask is. That means by the look of things, our flask is going to look like this way. Good. Vertically, then the baseline basically is the center that, or the line that our objects are going to sit on. Good. So first of all, by drawing the flask, we are going to draw a rectangle. Just like I said earlier on, avoid using direct eyes on the object if you are a beginner, because if you do it that way, you are going to struggle. So by using series of strokes, gently, impatiently, then use it to just draw your flask. You draw rectangle line or rectangle shape. Yes. Always don't feel bad about your strokes. What matters is you getting the lines to be straight or your strokes to be straight. Good. Once you do it this way, everything that you are doing, you are not blocking. So once you do it this way, leave it. Now let's move on to the middle. And you also have a look at the middle. It seems like it's half of the flask. So we start with the middle thing or the middle container here, by also drawing a rectangle shape before we turn it into a cylindrical shape. Good. Now we move on to draw the bread that is behind. Since the bread also looks like it's almost half of the, let's extend our baseline. It's like half of our vase. So we are going to draw. With this one, what I will encourage you to do is, when you have a look at our mock, our mock will be somewhere here. So let me draw the mock first, so that it's going to aid us for us to draw that one to the mock. You draw something like a square that's going to be used for our mock before we draw the cylindrical parts. So once you get it this way, come a little bit far from the mock, then you draw a vertical line. That means you're going to use to draw a cube that is going to look similar to our bread. Then we bring another vertical line here. Extend this a little bit, not too much. So you are drawing a cube or a cuboid that is going to be close like our breast side. So you extend this part, then you extend this part diagonally. Yes, then this part will follow. Everything that you're doing right now, you are blocking. So feel okay with using your series of strokes to just sketch, and then we are going to make the edges fine. Good. And see that you can extend this part as well. Good. Now that we have this one, let's try to block our cap. So with this one, it's going to start from the center, and that one too, I would like you to also draw at least a square, but that one will go top, or it will move top. Yeah, just like about this side. And you're going to apply about this side. Let's take it this side, for instance. Yeah. Leave it this way. Now, let's try to draw over. That's going to be our saucer. Draw an oval. You try to do a series of strokes and make sure you get it right. Yes. Good. Continue to just draw the oval. Once you feel like it's perfect for you, you stop. Then we can draw another about 1/4 of a circle like this. That's going to be the bottom of this saucer. Good. Let's leave it this way. Let's have a look at, we can see that we have a sugar box here, so we don't want to come somewhere here. So that one to, like we did earlier, we are going to draw, since we can see the line here, can see this line here. Yes, so we have to draw a vertical line here, then we extend it diagonally to the height that we can see in our image, then make another vertical line here. Make sure this one is a little bit tall, this one too is a little bit tall, then we try to join it together. Good. You try to close this one to the sugar or to the saucer, because you can't see that part very well. Good. Now we can extend this side. Okay, then now we can join this part to it. Everything that you are doing, you can see that we are using a series of shapes to just do it. Good. Now we have our image, like you have used series of shapes to just create it. Good. Now let's try to just look at the form that you can see here and the object here, then let's give it a form. Good. So before you can proceed, you need to just pay attention to the parts, the division inside the part. So we first start with our flask. When you look here, get to know that you have this flask, that is, you have the desktop part, then you have the part that is red, and you have the part that is a little bit wide than this part. So 1, then the red 2, then that part, slim part 3, then this part 4. So use your eyes to just gauge where the height of the bottle. Get to see that this part will be okay with where our cap of the flask can be. So you also draw another horizontal line that is going to be used for the red part of the flask. Then we can go at least more than the one that we just drew for this part, as the part that is wide of the flask. Good. Once we have that, let's come to the edge of the flask. You can see that with this part is curved. You see with my case, like you see that it's curved. So let's try. If we don't know how to do, you can just use the eyes to get this part, at least half of this side. At least this side too is fine. This side, then this side. Then you just try to curve it to join that part. You see. You curve from where we marked to this part that you have marked, then we join it together. Yes. Okay. Good. Okay. Everything is a sketch, so don't be afraid of how it looks like. So once you get it this way, let's have a look at how it is. Then this part too has to come a little bit outside our normal object because that part is wide, and this part too will come a little bit extra. Good. So get something like this. When we are done with the whole sketch, we can now dip it. So for now, let's try to just get the actual part of the object before we can dip it. Get something like this. That's what to get. On the air deck, you see that we have a certain handle, yes, for the bottle or the flask. So let's try to bring that one. So try to just draw like 2 ovals, but make sure it follows the pattern of the handle. Then this part follows and extend it downwards. So you get something like this. Okay, good. Now let's move on to the Milo. You see that the Milo has a cover, so let's try to create that one. So you can see that it's also being divided into certain parts, but before that, let's try to use this line to create a cylindrical part for the top of the Milo tin. So you try to connect the edges with this horizontal part for it to create the cylindrical part or the cover of the container. Okay, now you get it. You see now the form is coming. See that on top is being divided, like you can see on top of it. So bring another oval to this part, another oval to this part. Any other way to clean it. So when you have a look at it, you can see that that part is also the top and the whole thing. That's the head or the cover that is covering it. So you draw a curved line. Cover line like this. Yes. Good. So we try to define the form well for us to see it clearly. We'll dip it a little bit, not that deep, so that you can see the form. We can add the details later. So now we have our Milo 2. Now let's come to our cup. So that one, to use the same horizontal line like we did earlier on, to also try to open it up for the cylindrical part or the top of the cup. This will horizontal part for the cylindrical part. Okay, good. Once you have done it this way, now we try to curve the edges like we did at the top here. To mark here, then you mark it down to use your eyes, then you mark certain parts and look at our image here. You could see that it's being curved. So you start from the top here. Curve it. Then we bring this part to you see the curve. Now you begin to curve that part as well. If it's not accurate or it's not okay, you try to curve it to the part that is going to be okay for you. Good. So if you see that inside the cup we have a certain portion that is being seated inside the saucer, so we bring that part as well. A very brief one or a small one. Good. Now let's look at the saucer. We start by drawing the edge of it. The edge will follow. So edge will follow like this. Good. Now we have already drawn the bottom part, but since it's too much, so we have to reduce it. Good. Now let's talk about the handle. So the handle too will be here. Don't like over, you curve it according to the shape of the cap or the handle. Then we bring this part, extend it to it, and you open another forum for the rest of the handle. Good. I think with this part, it seems it's too small, so let's try to open it a little bit. Good. Now, I think with the sugar bottle, the sugar box is left with just the edges. You can define them later, we add the details. Okay. Now let's move on to the mock. So like we said earlier, you have to also use the same procedure for the mock. We open it just like we did it earlier for the cylindrical part using the shapes. Then we start this part too. Good. Try to open another oval or draw another oval. Okay. Do it to this part as well. Just like that. Okay. So once you have it, come to the bottom, curve it a little bit because it's a cylinder, or it's such a cylindrical form, so we curve the bottom a little bit. Use the horizontal line to curve it. See, then you get it. Now the bird tool is done. Let's add the edges. Good. Then the other, I think, is supposed to be curved. We are almost done. It's left that we need to just improve it. Wait, the way the actual object looks like. So we get a feel of what we just drawn or sketched. Good. Then this part too is also curved. And this part too curved. Good. So at the end, you are going to get something like this. Once that you are done sketching, you are going to get something like this. So let's try to add some small details and touches to it, and we erase the certain parts that are not needed. Then we are done. Next time, then we try our hands on shading. Good. So let's move straight to the middle part with some little details. The middle part. Let's try to at least draw some diagrams on it. So I think this is a sketch. Let's try to make some rough sketches for it. I think I got it wrong, so that's this part. Yeah, so it's a sketch, so it's fine. or it's just a sketch. Okay, yes. So this ones, they are just rough sketch. At this point, you can decide to just add it or not, because the main topic was for us to use shapes to just draw, and I think you have to achieve that. So now we are adding some details to it. I think this one is okay a little bit. There are some parts. So it's it's fine with that one. Let's move on with the sugar. I think this one is a brief recap then. Yeah. So it's a brief recap then. Good. Let's move on to the milk. So this how it to be. Then we bring the name of the product. Okay, so at this point you are adding some small details to it, then you are done. Okay, so that is that. At this point, let's try to erase the unwanted pass in our scene. Then we are done. Okay, so after erasing everything, this is what you are going to get. It's your final work. That is it. Good. Good. So if you are not satisfied, you add some touches to it, because this is a sketch. Yes, at least a sketch. It's not a detailed work, because after everything, when you shade it, then you are going to get the actual forms and the rest. So you can add some touches to it, then you think it's okay by you to then you leave it. Next time I'll try for us to shade it or for us to color it, to get to know how it's going to be, how it's going to look. Good. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. I hope we're able to just do it as we did it. Yes, this remains your channel Vivid Concepts. Yes, make sure you subscribe, you like, and stay glued to always to our channel for new drawings and artworks. Yeah, thank you.